What's up, everyone? Peti Kish here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about Capcom showing off this Dead Rising remaster that's coming out this year, and a lot of people on the internet are getting a bit mad about all these changes they're doing about Dead Rising. They're remastering the first game, and a lot of people are picking some things out from what they showed off from this upcoming Capcom event. So people are finding out that a lot of the game has changed. Now, keep in mind, this is called a remaster. And we're going to be talking about what is the difference from a remaster, a remake, and a reimagining. Because there's a lot of differences between these. And this game, how much stuff they're changing besides the censorship, the race swapping, a villain character, that it's not going to be one-to-one like the original was. So why is that? The reason is, I think it is, you see my last video about Capcom and localization. I think what they're doing is they're trying to not offend a type of audience that usually gets offended by everything, sensitive snowflakes, and they're changing it for a modern audience. We're going to be reading about this in a bit, but before we read this, guys, I'd love it if you guys could like, share, sub, follow on this channel. I'm growing this channel each day, and I'd appreciate if you can do that. Thank you very much if you enjoy these kind of videos. So, botting into comics, I'm on their site, and they had this article here. It's pretty much saying, in seeming attempt to avoid offensive, Capcom race swaps psychopath enemy from Asian to white in upcoming Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. This psychopath character, it's a bad guy. It's changed for no reason. People are questioning, why is it changed? What's the purpose? If it's a remaster, not much is changing, just better graphics, story's the same, and maybe some mechanics for controls to make it a bit better. That's it. Nothing else should be touched at all. Why is this changed? Who is this offending? Why is this even a problem? Also, Frank West, a lot of people have been talking about, and as well as me, I'm not really liking this kind of Frank West, this remake, redesign of Frank West. A lot of people are not happy as well with the design. Some people will enjoy it, some say it's fine. He looks a bit older. I don't know why. He doesn't feel like that character from when I played it during the Xbox 360 era. It feels like they aged him up a bit. And the weird part is, if you actually want to play the remastered version of Frank West, it's a pre-order for this game. So it's behind a paywall. That is the most dumbest thing ever. You should be able to unlock that or pick and choose which version you want of Frank West from the start, I think. Because some people don't like design, then give them the other design as a choice. Like, give people options. People want options. But, you know, Capcom wants their money, so they're going to put it over, under a paywall. So the only way to grab these right now is by pre-ordering, so you can get the original OG Frank West base model and all that in an HD remastered version of his face. What can only be described as a preemptive measure to avoid backlash from the terminally online Capcom's Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered has race swapped one of the game's violent psychopath boss enemies from Asian to Caucasian. Don't know why. Why is that? Scattered throughout the fictional Willamette Mall in which the game takes place, the ranks of Dead Rising psychopath consists of particularly dangerous human survivors who enabled to comprehend the undead horrors unfold around them, have lost their minds and gone violently insane. I do agree that it looks really good, the remaster. Some touch-ups here and there. I think the graphics are fine in some areas. I really do. Some of them are good. Frank West looks kind of weird. Not gonna lie, his face is kind of weird. Yeah, they're using the RE engine, and for some character models, it's fine. But you know, Dead Rising is not like Resident Evil. It's more like goofy, crazy. This guy's a journalist. He's going into this mall. See, so that was his face before, which isn't bad. It's not a bad face. And then they changed it to this. He feels more angry. He looks pretty different from what it was. That's a huge change. See the dog and all that. But like, why was some of these characters changed? Like why that guy was race swapped? No clue whatsoever about this game. It's just race swapped for no really reason. I don't know why. Like, everything else seems similar, but you never know in this game until you play it, like how much stuff they censored. Back then, it was okay to do, but now it's not okay to do, which is the dumbest thing. I hate that shit. I don't like anything that gets censored. Just keep it as is. Since it's a remaster, everything needs to be the same. Nothing has to be touched. That is what a remaster is. Among these unhinged individuals is one Larry Chang, a once respected butcher who seeks to uphold his reputation amidst the outbreak by serving fresh meat, otherwise known as the flesh of non-infected humans, which is pretty fucked up if you think about it. It's really, really fucked up. Chang crosses path with protagonist Frank West after kidnapping one of its allies, Carlito Keys, and threatening to grind him up into his next meal. This threat only coming to after a meat locker set duel against the veteran photographer. Larry Chang, this is the original model, how he looks. I don't know what's offensive about this. I have no clue. Like, you would think you want diversity in these games, and then they take it away. The diversity, they take it away because now it's offensive. Like, I don't understand the mindset. If you want truly diverse DEI and all this, then why did you change this? Why is it oh, it might be offensive. To who? In the original game, Chang, unsurprisingly, in light of his name, was depicted as a bald and heavy-set Chinese individual. The Chinese character, or me, even tattooed down his neck. As an aside, it should be noted that outside of informing his visual appearance, Chang's ethnic background plays no part in his on-screen story. Not once does he himself bring up his heritage, nor does he work at any sort of Chinese restaurant. Why change it to the white dude? Which he's probably not going to be called Larry Chang. Which then again, that is not a remaster. Once again, it's not a remaster. However, in the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, it seems Chang does not appear at all. Rather, as seen in the game's announcement trailer, his role in the game will instead be filled by a heavy-set white man sporting a baseball cap, thin glasses, a graying mustache, and a notable crazy look in his eyes. So that's the new one. Larry Chang's gonna look like. That's not Larry Chang. That's Larry White. I don't know what else to name him. That's Larry White. So, why is this even a thing? Oh my God, this is so dumb. It's so stupid. It doesn't make no sense. And people are like, you're crying about it. This is not even a big deal. Yeah. It's sort of a big deal because you're changing it for no reason. It is a big deal because it's false information. It's false advertisement. This is not a remaster then. This is not a remaster. It's false. At current, Capcom has yet to provide any public as to either why they made this change. Further, in terms of speculation, it's currently theorized that Chang's character was edited in order to avoid drawing accusations of racism regarding his design. Further, it currently remains unclear whether this version of the Butcher seen in the remaster is intended to be a lighter skinned version of Chang or a new, wholly different character. That people are just speculating why, but there's no actually given fact. Like I said, if you haven't seen my last couple Capcom videos ago, I talked about localization in Capcom. how they're trying to not just localize, like translate one-to-one. They even said it's more than just translation. It's changing the whole culture, changing the whole narrative, changing things that were not well back then for these people, to change them to be acceptable now. Again, for modern audiences. That does not exist. Who are you trying to get with these games? Those people do not play games at all. Where is that modern audience that you always talk about? Where is it? I was really excited about this game, but I feel like I'm not as much no more about all this changing. You know what? I want to get back to Dead Rising. I'm not like a huge Dead Rising fan, but I wanted to get back because it kind of intrigued me. I'm like, actually, I want to try this out. It's a more goofier version of Resident Evil. And I was like, you know what? I want to see Remaster is because it looked good. It looked pretty decent with graphics wise and everything. But now all of this coming out, it kind of makes me not want to get this game now. And then we got Grums here, the best person to find like info about the gaming industry that usually you just find. Like, he's insane. He's awesome. Shout out to Grums out there. I'm Asian and I don't need Capcom to protect my feelings in Dead Rising. I need better games without knee-jerk political DEI censorship. Race swapping to white is actually the racist move here. It really is. Like, why did you swap it? Are you racist for that? What's the purpose? Like, maybe to not offend Chinese people? I don't know. I have no clue what this is going on with. But it has to do with something with DEI, for sure. And the localizers, for sure. All of that. It has to do with that. Here's another one from someone else. So how much censorship is there going to be? And you see Chang and Kang, which, okay, like we've been talking about. And then here we go, original, remaster. So they like covered her up a bit more now and changed her up, like the design-wise and everything, which I'm like, why are you doing this? It's not like a huge big deal, but it's a slight censorship. You know, even if it's a slight bit censorship, it can be a big deal later on. Sometimes it's fine and I can be okay with it, but even here, like this is a huge censorship, like just questionable. Here, I'm like, okay, I'm okay with it. It's not too bad, but why do it still? Why did you change that? It's because probably the original is more sexier and they want to like change it up. This isn't that as bad as the Frank West redesign. That's the first comment here. Yeah, some people don't like that Frank West redesign. It is pretty bad. That is true. Here it is, guys. This is the pre-order bonus. And there's Frank West. Can't zoom in, but you can get the original Frank West, which is fine. I don't know why they changed it. This is probably going to be like the best version, obviously. You play it. And then they have the guy from 2, Chuck. They have him. And then I don't know what this is, this Wasp. So that's a pre-order bonus and different costumes. If this is the digital deluxe. So it's like Capcom themed costumes, what they're not showing. There's some Resident Evil, Street Fighter, and like different things in here. Yeah, Darkstalkers, just a bunch of different characters from Capcom games. Yeah, this is also kind of stupid. I noticed, like, why not use this design originally and then use the other design? Or don't put this as a pre-order bonus, put it in the game in some sort of way, or making it like an unlockable. When you beat the game, you get this kind of skin, you know, something like that. Because I know Resident Evil had that too. When you beat the game, you get like different costumes and different designs you can work with, you know, with this. Or you could just made this like a free DLC, give it away later for people that are like upset about the new design, you know? Just give options. People love it when you have different options. You're not gonna please everyone, that's for a fact. But people are questioning definitely about the race swap. Like, why? And why is there so much censorship going on? When it's a rated M game, you know, you shouldn't be censoring much. This game is brutal in some areas. And if Mortal Kombat doesn't get censored for fatalities and all that, then Dead Rising shouldn't be censored for anything either. Now, the question is, why are they censoring some of these issues? Because they don't want to offend babies crying on the internet. They would just make it, you're racist, that's sexist. You know, just everything in the book they'll call you if you bring this up. So recently, also Capcom had this, since we're talking about Dead Rising and Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, which looks awesome, by the way. Remove some images from the Punisher arcade ending. So the ending of Punisher, there's a scene where they show you New York, and it has the World Trade Center, obviously, in it. And what they're doing is they want to take this out of the game, that ending scene with the building. That is another sort of censorship. They're pretty much erasing history right there in front of you all. It's not like a huge big deal, but it's just a small piece of a bigger picture that's going on here. Don't erase this. Keep it as is. That is just more work on this game itself. There's no purpose of that. No one's offended. Show me what it used to be. Because if you erase it out of history, people are not going to know what happened or what was going on and this even existed. They're erasing it from existence, pretty much. So here we go with just Capcom Fighting Collection, the Punisher game. Just erasing it out of no reason whatsoever, just to not offend people in America or other places, mostly Americans. No one's crying about it. No one cares. So why do it? What is remaster, remake, reimagining mean? And here we go. So a remaster, for you all, if you don't know what it is, a remaster. A remaster is a re-release of an existing game with updated visuals, sound, and sometimes minor gameplay tweaks, but retaining the original story, characters, and core gameplay mechanics. The goal is to improve the game's appearance and performance on modern hardware without fundamentally changing its essence. Examples: Demon's Souls 2020, Metroid Zero Mission, Metal Gear Solid, The Twin Snakes. So there are stuff in here that is a remaster, but why the race swap? That is not a remaster then. That's something else. So what is a remake? A remake is a complete recreation of the existing game from the ground up, often with new assets, engine, and sometimes significant changes to the story, characters, or gameplay mechanics. A remake aims to recreate the original game with modern standards, but may not be direct copy of the original. Examples: Resident Evil 2, 2019, Shadow of Colossus, 2018, which, yeah, it is a remake because it's built up fully, but it looks like it would be a remaster. It's just better frame rate and everything else looks better. And Ratchet & Clank 2016. The director, like, when I watched that video Capcom presentation, they were talking about it. They said it was close to becoming a remake, like they were saying. But most of everything was intact. Everything was the same. Well, technically, it's not. Because then it would be a remake. We just read what a remake is. Changes to story, characters, and gameplay mechanics. Yes. Everything's the same, but now you change character. Because that character is not going to be called Larry Chang at all. It's going to be called Larry White or something else completely. You're not going to call it Chang. If you call him Chang, that's going to be actually more racist than, like Grum said, you're making it more racist now, even more. You're trying to stop being it racist. You're making it more racist for that. It's so dumb. And here's a reimagining, which I've been saying for a while. A remake and a reimagining is completely different. And here we go. They even the AI will tell you what is a reimagining, because there's a game on here I've been saying for a while that is a reimagining, not a remake. Here you go. A reimagining is a reinterpretation of an existing game story or franchise, often with significant changes to the narrative, characters, and setting, or gameplay mechanics. A reimagining may not be a direct copy of the original, but rather a new take on the same concept. It can be thought of as a reboot with a twist. Examples: God of War 2018, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy 2017, and Silent Hill 2020. Okay, a few days ago, I saw this and they changed it. The AI changed it. It said Final Fantasy VII Remake. And it was saying Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy 2017 reimagining. It's not a reimagining. It's still a remaster. There's nothing reimagined about it, really, besides Coco being added to other of the levels. Silent Hill 2020 didn't even come out yet. But they're saying that that's not also a remake now. The AI is saying it's not a remake, it's a reimagining. So I'm scratching my head because a day before when I read this, it had Final Fantasy VII Remake. And it was highlighted. Now it's not even here. That's crazy. That's crazy. They changed it or something happened. It got changed. You want to show me what a remake is? The best remake is Resident Evil 1 Remake in 2002. That is the best remake I ever played. It's so true to the original that it could be considered a remaster. But it's not a remaster because they added more to it that amplifies, gives more backstory of the Spencer Mansion, and it makes it even better. It tells you more stories and it adds more to it. But it's so close to what the original was on PS1 that it could be considered a remaster, but it is a remake. So you ask yourself, what's the race swap? What do you put that under? I don't think that's a remaster. I think that's a remake. The director said that we were really close to calling it a remake, but we could call it a remaster because we wanted the core element to be the same. So it's like almost an in-betweener, a remaster and remake. But I think it's actually a remake. They're not telling us something we want to know about because there might be other things censored or changed that wasn't in the original game. And they might even taken some things out. I wouldn't be surprised and added something new in or some different element, side quests, different areas. We don't know. It's not a remaster, technically. I don't think it is. I think it's actually more of a remake, but with their own DEI added into it because there's no reason why that was needed to be done. The censorship and the race swapping, Capcom, unlogical things they're doing. This is pretty much showing that these localizers have taken it over and saying that, yeah, we can't do this no more. We got to change this up for a modern audience. But what do you guys think overall about this thing? Do you think it's actually like some sort of censorship? Why do you think this is? Is it not really a big deal, actually? It's just there because they just wanted to change it up a bit, do something different. But I asked the question, why then? Why change it up? What's the point about changing something that already is? If it's a remaster, don't change it. Leave it as is. Like I said, it's only changing the graphics, minor tweaks in gameplay, and that's pretty much it. That's a remaster. Everything is the same. So why do that then? But what do you guys think overall? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, I thank you so much for watching this long. And if you dislike this video, I still thank you so much for sticking this long. Until next time, guys, I'll see you around and have a good one all. See ya.